But let's get on with watching some of this dude stuff. But let's watch this prick. I've been watching Atosi's videos on this dude. Let's see what he says.
The most hated IRL streamer on the planet has absolutely lost
I
his
don't know how
mind
this-
running in his underwear.
I don't know how Johnny Somali isn't fucking embarrassed by himself. Like, I could not imagine doing this shit. It is the most embarrassing shit I've ever seen. Like, there's something mentally wrong with him. His parents dropped him as a child or something else.
On the streets of Seoul and harassing everyday
I also don't
citizens.
understand how
that
this is
stream was
entertaining.
so bad that the only live streaming platform on the planet that hasn't banned him yet has finally decided to ban him. He now officially has 0 platforms to stream on and earn money on. But
Yep.
that's the least of his worries, because he got arrested yet again after running around half naked on the street, and in just the last couple of days has broken over a dozen new laws. The guy wants the maximum prison sentence at this point. It's insane. But what the hell's happening, and how did we
just a
even
spammer.
get here? Well, let's talk about it. Johnny's story started on none other than Kick.com, unsurprisingly. He would travel to Japan in 2023 and would stream himself committing public nuisance crimes, harassing people on the metro, disrespecting every aspect of Japanese culture, and eventually sneaking onto a construction site, breaking multiple laws in the process
they
and getting
should
arrested.
have went harder in
Japan wasn't
Japan.
really used to having cases like this, but eventually he did get around 1 month of prison time before being released
They should have
and
done
banned
harder.
from ever coming back. People were hoping that this would traumatize him enough for him to stop, but no, he actually was only getting started. A few months later, he traveled yet again and got arrested by Israeli police for harassing a woman on the street. This only resulted in him spending time in jail overnight though, as he was released quickly and without consequences, emboldening him further. Months would pass yet again, and this time he would decide that his next destination of public nuisance was going to be South Korea.
And now
Just
he's
like in
stuck.
Japan, he was rude, he was loud, he was obnoxious, harassing people on the street, in public transport. He clearly had learned nothing from his previous 2 destinations. But the first crime he actually committed was obstruction of business in a 7-Eleven when he got some noodles and decided to spill them on purpose on one of the tables that you can eat on. This was while his speaker was very loudly playing his view.
See, the thing is, I can't understand it. To be honest, I can't understand this fucker. I can't understand going to another country. I can't understand doing it in your own country. Just being a fucking dick. Like, come on, man. Like, it takes nothing to not be a dick.
And berated staff that was trying to make him stop. It was a very hard watch. But of course, knowing him, this was only the beginning. Shortly after, he would go to a very important statue in Korean society and twerk on it, then kiss it. This is a statue that is meant to symbolize the women that suffered sexual abuse throughout World War II when Japan invaded. To say that this is disrespectful is an understatement. At this point, the South Korean authorities couldn't ignore this anymore. They had scheduled a trial around the end of December 2024. He was finally going to face justice, but unfortunately, very shortly before the trial, they decided to delay it until March 7th, 2025. Many people were unhappy with the fact that he was going to spend 3 more months in South Korea wreaking havoc. But Legal Mindset, a lawyer that's been very closely following Johnny Somali's antics and reporting on them, said that the reason they would delay a trial by this long is because they had more charges planned.
Wait, has he been,
Johnny was under the impression that he was only going to get charged for one thing, and that's obstruction of business.
Has he actually
He was
officially
also
been
carefree,
jailed
thinking
for
that
it, or is
if
he still
something
out?
bad did actually
Last
happen,
I
he could
checked,
just
he was
plead
still out
insanity.
waiting for
This would
another
reduce
court
his
date.
punishment considerably and let him leave the country. Unfortunately for him, though, he was absolutely delusional if he thought he was going to get out of this easily. March 7th, 2025 finally arrived, and Legal Mindset actually attended the trial personally. Johnny had shown up an hour late, drunk, wearing an oversized suit belonging to his only friend in South Korea, Hank, and a MAGA hat. Now, personally, I'm quite jealous of Legal Mindset because he got to see something up close and personal that many of us couldn't see because cameras weren't allowed in the trial.
And plus he's
He got to
cracking
see
up
Johnny
more
Smile
charges
go
as
from
he
this
just lives here.
to this, as the judge announced that there were going to be 3 additional charges added to his case. Instead of 1 count of obstruction of business, there were 2 counts. And additionally, there were also 2 violations of the Minor Crimes Act. He was completely blindsided by this, but surprisingly, he still pled guilty to every single charge. He was able to get more time though because Johnny's lawyer argued that they needed more time to prepare for these additional charges. So the trial got delayed by around a month and it'll happen on April 9th, 2025. But of course, Johnny just couldn't resist letting this trial end normally. As the courtroom was talking, he stuck his tongue out in a show of disrespect, and as he was leaving the courtroom, he proclaimed that South Korea is nothing more than a US vassal state. But here's the thing, usually if you're a person that has somewhat of a brain...
Well, you know what he's doing though? Like with the MAGA stuff and everything. He's trying to like get on, what's it called, Trump's good side, to try and get him out there. But no one wants to touch him. He is a fucking idiot. He is never going to be able to work again. Never. Like, anyone that looks him up is going to see all this shit. He is never going to fully be able to work again. I don't know what's going to happen to him in the future. There's no way he can work. He either has to keep streaming, which he can't do anymore because everyone has banned him. And I doubt he could do streams without doing this shit. Because he's a gullible fucking idiot.
You would maybe, I don't know, calm down until your next trial, especially after being surprised with 3 additional charges? That sounds reasonable, no?
No.
But we're dealing with Johnny Somali here. There's nothing reasonable about this person. His turning point would be on March 12th, a few days after that trial, when he proclaimed that he was the bastion of evil, that he was gonna die out with a bang for his fans, signaling that he was about to escalate things even further. Additionally, it seemed like the streaming platform he was on loved him quite a bit, and they were known to offer very big deals for some streamers to stream there exclusively. He showed off on his Discord that he was negotiating with them for a deal that would pay him up to $10,000 a month just for streaming on their platform. So it seemed like he wasn't just about to do this for attention, he was also about to do this to get their approval and finalize the contract. This is when an opportunity would present itself. When Johnny used to be on Kick, he would stream with a bunch of other Kick streamers sometimes, traveling together. After his numerous controversies and the fact that he got banned off the platform, those same streamers would start avoiding him. You see, Kick isn't too different from Twitch. When you get banned from Kick and appear on someone else's stream, they risk getting banned for aiding your ban evasion. So even if they wanted to collab with him, they couldn't. Otherwise they would get banned because he was banned from Kick. A couple of Kick streamers that Johnny was familiar with made their way to Seoul, and he saw this as the perfect opportunity to stalk their location and harass them while trying to get them banned. In his mind, this was going to be the kind of content that will make Party finally sign him by seeing his potential.
I've been here, listen, I've been here to be my friend homeless. Nana, remember we talked in Japan? Remember?
So obviously they were uncomfortable. They were going the other direction. They wanted to avoid him as much as possible. But he kept following them. But Johnny wasn't really getting the reaction he wanted. So he ended this by screaming the N-word, hard R, multiple times, forcing these 2 streamers to mute or even end their stream so that they don't get banned on Kick for hate speech. Those 2 streamers immediately went to the police station afterwards and filed a police report.
If I remember correctly, he like went to them while they were having like a date and shit. Like, they were in a legit restaurant having a date and stuff while streaming. And then he just starts fucking harassing
against him. One of those 2 streamers is a Japanese streamer by the name of Nana, and she said, "I didn't want to, but I had to sue Johnny Somali. No matter how many times I ran away, he just kept following me." According to Legal Mindset, this could add the charges of stalking and harassment to his upcoming trial. I think she means go to the police. The guy's collecting as many charges as he can, like he's playing Pokemon or something. But that's not even close to everything he's done ever since proclaiming that he was the bastion of evil. After the police report was filed, he would go to a love hotel with his boyfriend Hank and start dancing. This happiness experienced by this loving couple wouldn't really last so long when Johnny realizes that a police report was just filed against him by those 2 Kick streamers. So he asked Hank to call the police and try to dismiss his case. But since the guy isn't a lawyer and Johnny was actually in the wrong, it didn't go his way at all.
증거 없으면 기각시키면 안 되는 거 아니에요? 이게 우리가 사건 접수했다고 무조건 처벌되는 게 아니라 네. 조사 받을 때 Why he not speaking English? 네.
Because you're in fucking Korea.
네. 나는 억울하다 이런 적 없다고 소명하시고 그거에 대해서 증거를 못 찾으면 Can I talk to him? What is he saying? Tell me. 이해하시면 돼요. 알겠습니다. What is he
You know, this was a 2-minute call. The officer was as patient as he could be
And
for
also, why
someone
the
like
fuck are you
Johnny, even though he didn't
streaming
deserve it
this?
at all. But yeah, Hank couldn't get it dismissed. If
This
anything,
shit
he
should
made
not
it
be
worse.
streamed.
But just as you thought that things couldn't get worse, Johnny goes live brandishing a firearm,
Oh
okay,
my
which
God.
is illegal to do on a live stream. Now, thankfully, this gun isn't real, but replicas are also under very strict control from the South Korean authorities. So what he's doing here is still considered illegal and can also be an extra charge in his court case. While he was doing this, he was prank calling South Korean emergency services, so 911 but in South Korea, potentially distracting them from saving lives. This dude belongs in a mental asylum. But that's not all that happened during his multi-day crash out. He was so desperate to get that party deal that he was doing the dumbest things in public and getting away with it, like here.
Berto sent $10.
What's happening? Oh, okay.
This guy just sits there, right? He wakes up in the morning and he's like, what's the most controversial thing I can do today, right? That's his whole life at this point. But what he did next was unexpected, even for people who cover his antics all the time. He decided to do what he's always done, being a public nuisance, but this time while barely wearing anything and acting like a crazy person.
Oh
Watch.
yeah, I saw this. He was like
They wanna
harassing
charge me for
these
doing,
fuckers.
Twerking on the subway. I'm allowed to twerk in public. Boom, 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 boom. I want to hit right.
He looks like he was dropped. Like, he looks like he was dropped as a child. Like, come on.
Let's go, Korea! Korea number one! Yes! Korea number one! Korea, Korea, Korea! Korea number one!
There is something mentally wrong with it.
Police!
Dropped, poisoned,
Go!
all the above.
Boom, boom, boom! I want you in my room! Go, 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 go!
Why do
So
people
as you can
find this
see, not just being
entertaining?
a public nuisance, being half naked, but also taunting the police, saying, call them. And even though it's not Christmas yet, Johnny got the wish that he wanted. He got arrested shortly after. He showed this off on his Discord, saying they got the whole station working, proud of the fact that he disrupted operations just for his case. Shortly afterwards, his friend or boyfriend, I'm not sure what their relationship is, Hank, showed up to translate for him and told the police that he's just like George Floyd, whatever that means. I mean, seriously, like, I wonder what their reaction was, because I wouldn't know how to react. It's ridiculous. He got interrogated by the police and illegally recorded the audio saying he's going to sell it, really pushing the limits when it comes
How
to the
does
South
he
Korean
manage to
judicial
record
system.
it?
Because shortly afterwards, he was released, showing that they're way too lenient on a nutcase like him. But don't worry, it wasn't as victorious as Johnny had hoped. Because after his little stunt, Party decided to do the unthinkable in his eyes and suspend him. He is not going to be getting
love a
that
happy
$10,000 a month deal,
Although
and
this
he
is just a happy
doesn't
middle.
have a streaming platform to stream on any longer. They were the only ones willing to
can't
put
wait
up with
to
his
hear his
bullshit, and he
sentence.
managed to ruin even that. Messages from the owners of Party actually leaked, and this is what they had to say about him. Man, lol, he's done for, huh?
Like, seriously, dude. This fucker, I've said it before in this part of the stream. He is, after he gets released from prison, he's gonna get sent right back to the USA. He's not gonna be up to work. Like, people are gonna look at this man, look at his internet presence, because he can't escape from it. This is in the world. People have seen his face, they know what he looks like. They are gonna find him. And no one's gonna hire him. Who's gonna hire this fucker? Like, the only people who I can see that can hire him are gonna be YouTubers, and even then, they may not want to touch him with a 10-foot pole. I don't understand why he's ruined his life. Like, he can't have made much money. I mean, he's stuck in Korea. He's got to be skint by now. But I
Don't
know
be sad
his
it's
fucking
over.
boy
Be
toy's
happy
been
it happened. He is done.
bankrolling
Yeah,
it
lol.
for a
Should we
bit.
delete the vid? Erase the evidence from the Korean feds, lol? Good idea, lol. We should. We don't want to, but we should.
You
I
can't
know, right?
erase it.
Lol.
It's not.
If I
It's
ever get like
online.
this on stream, please stop me. Okay, lol. So it seems that they obviously found him entertaining and liked him, but they had to get rid of his ass because they didn't want to get in trouble with South Korean law enforcement. I think part of the reason why he would do something like this is for attention, is to try and get that $10,000 a month deal from Party, but also because he's really hoping to be able to plead insanity in the upcoming case. But that's not really going to work. Alaric Node is another
even if
lawyer
he is
following
insane,
this
he's still
case
getting jail
closely,
time.
and he argues that just in those last couple of days, ever since he stalked those kick streamers up until the point where he streamed half naked, he has broken multiple laws, including, but not limited to, Act on Special Cases Concerning the Punishment of Sexual Crimes. That's for the stalking and harassment. Next up, we have the Information and Communications Network Act, because he created deepfakes of him kissing another female streamer without her consent.
Really?
The same night he was brandishing the rifle on stream, he was also making prank calls to South Korean emergency services. That's another crime under obstruction of business. Showing off the gun is yet another crime. Act on the safety of management of guns, swords, and explosives, etc. And when he went out in public half naked, this classifies under public obscenity and disorderly conduct, as well as disturbing order. The officers, when they finally approached him, he refused to stop streaming or follow their orders. This is another violation, obstruction of the execution of official duties. Not to mention the fact that he recorded the interrogation, that's another crime as well.
Yeah,
Johnny
that's
has
gotta be
always
like
been
a big
madman,
crime, I
but
think.
streaming half naked, calling for police to come and arrest him, and taunting them, that's just ridiculous at this point. All the lawyers following this, all the content creators reporting on this, including myself, hope that on April 9th, he'll be getting a reckoning that would stop anyone else from coming up with any of his ideas when it comes to doing this in countries that they have the privilege of visiting. We'll see what happens. But for now, thank you so much for
Well,
watching
he's so
until
out
the
at the
end,
moment,
and I'll
isn't
see
he?
you in the next video, whenever that is. I love you so much.
It's
Mwah.
like they did like other charges and shit, and they're just letting him rank up more and more and more and more charges. I just don't understand this dude. Like, I don't know why you would ruin your life for this. Like, I just don't understand. Like, it genuinely baffles me. Out of everything to do in your life, there's so many better ways of making money. Even just streaming normally. In real life streamer, going to like nice little places that people want to see. But no, you have to pander to the degenerates and get yourself arrested a shit ton of times. No one's gonna want anyone around. Like, I want to go to Japan eventually, and I'll probably record some stuff there. My thing is, holy fuck, are people gonna be thinking about him when they look at me now if I go there and I do that? There's just a lot wrong with this.